reviews just keep coming. Welcome back to ROC Movie Reviews, and as we stated in the previous video, we will be reviewing the next DCEU film in the lineup of movies, and this is Suicide Squad.
What a ride!
Let's play!
Come on, got some better to do?
Let's go! Light it up!
I love this guy.
Not good. Don't forget, we're the bad guys.
Are you sweet-talking me? All of that chit-chat's gonna get you hurt.
The back is ready to crack as he raises his hands to the sky. And the girl in the corner is everyone's fun as she can hit you with a wink of her eye. Oh, yeah! It was electric! Bye-bye!
What you gonna do? You wanna see something? Yo, y'all wanna see something? Yes, I wanna see something! I was just trying to get you there. No hard feelings, right? We good.
What you having?
Beer.
Whiskey.
What am I, 12?
How about you, hot stuff?
Water.
That's a good idea, honey.
Alright, so like Batman v Superman, I saw this movie in the theaters. Yep. I saw it opening weekend. I actually saw it twice opening weekend.
Oh, wow.
I saw it with my aunt the first time, and then a couple days later on like a Sunday I saw it with my folks. All three of them enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. I think I might have enjoyed it more than them, but this was an attempt at DC trying to do something lighter and more fun and more zany than their previous efforts, Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, which were so dark.
Something different, which I don't mind. Like, it wasn't just based on, like, one person.
Yep.
It's based on, like, an entire group of people.
Yeah, and Zack Snyder directed the previous two movies. We talked about that. David Ayer directed this film, and well, he's done previously dark films like Fury, End of Watch, and he also did the recent Bright on Netflix, also with Will Smith. This is probably his most colorful movie and stylish. Yeah, I enjoy this movie. I just want to say that right now. I enjoy this more than most people. I get why people say it has a lot of issues, but this is a much better film in my opinion than Batman v Superman.
Same here.
And it's more fun. It just has it takes more risks, and yes, there are elements of it that absolutely do not work, and a lot of the dialogue is not the best, but for this cast and these characters that I had no idea about, it was fun. Was it a little rushed? Sure. So, okay. Plot of Suicide Squad is essentially what the title says. Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Killer Croc, and the rest of the bunch are basically taken out of, was it Arkham Asylum, I think it is?
Yeah.
Arkham Asylum, I think that's it. And they are put together as a team when a new threat arrives, which ends up being Enchantress. The trailer didn't really let that on.
No.
It made it look like Enchantress was actually part of the team.
Yeah.
She's not. So that was a little misleading. But they basically have to stop this threat, and they have to go into, I think it's New York City, maybe, or no, it might have been Chicago, and they got to stop this threat. Now, this is, like I said, more colorful, more zany, more risk-taking than the previous two movies. I have fun with this movie every time I watch it because it just has this fun element and this comedic side to it that the DCU was lacking.
Yeah.
So, I would definitely go back and watch this movie if it was ever on TV or something, because I enjoy it. I know we're getting the reboot sequel, Suicide Squad 2, and James Gunn is directing that. Very excited about that. But if they had done a sequel, David Ayer coming back to direct, I still would have been on board.
Yeah.
And I liked the cast, which is what we're going to talk about now. Will Smith as Deadshot.
I liked him.
I actually did. I think he gets a lot to do in the movie. He's one of the main players.
Yeah.
I thought he was really good. The connection with the fact that he has a daughter and everything obviously humanized him, where he wasn't just a villain. And that worked for me for the most part. That Batman cameo in the beginning with him wasn't really needed, But it was fun enough, and seeing the Joker and Harley Quinn. Joker, played by Jared Leto, not used enough in this movie.
No.
It looked like he was gonna be the main villain. Turns out he's actually just kind of in the background, and he pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the film's major missed opportunities. And if he is done as the Joker and he was only in one film, that's a shame, because I think he could have brought a lot more energy and just fun to the role than what we saw.
Yeah.
Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn.
She was probably the best actor in the whole movie.
I would say her and Will Smith were really good, and she was just so fun. I mean, she was zany, she was off the wall, she was insane at times.
Yeah.
I liked her interactions with Jared Leto. It worked for me when they kind of focused on it, but they didn't focus on it much.
Yeah.
They focused on it in flashbacks, and that was a weird device to do that through. But so she worked for me. Who else? Let's see. You've got Killer Croc. He's kind of in the background. He was cool looking. Again, didn't do much.
No.
The main villain, Enchantress, played by what's her name? Cara Delevingne. Pretty unknown actress still, but she has been in more films. As far as villains go, not great.
No.
Not great,
And
but
she
not
honestly
terrible.
looked totally fake, honestly.
She did. Do you remember when she started doing the dancing and she looked like one of those bobbleheads that are on like the front of a car?
Yeah, and basically the effects
Yeah.
for her, like, you almost thought this is a video game.
Yeah, that's another thing we talked about in the previous two. DCU's effects aren't always the best. They're
No.
used more sparingly in this movie up until the finale when it's another CGI fest.
Yeah.
That being said, this CGI fest finale I enjoyed more because it was more dynamic than BVS and Man of Steel. It wasn't just CGI, it actually had some practical effects in it. So I liked that. We didn't say who played Killer Croc. That's Adewale something. I don't remember his name. He's a black actor.
Yeah.
He did fine. He had some good funny lines, but he was kind of just there to be the muscle.
Yeah.
And that, I guess when you have that big of a team, you can't spend a lot of time on the characters.
Yeah.
But I just could have used more from him. Also, Jay Hernandez is Diablo. I liked him.
Yeah.
The Fire Fist dude. He had a tragic backstory. I liked a lot of his lines, and his powers were really cool. I feel like he should have used his powers earlier on, but I understood why he didn't. So that worked for me. And then, biggest surprise of the movie, maybe, Jai Courtney is Captain Boomerang, a guy who usually is just really bland and flat in all the movies he's in, and he's like become the generic pretty face actor who doesn't really deliver.
Yeah.
He was good. He was good in this movie.
Yeah.
I liked his Australian accent. I think he actually is Australian. And he was funny. He was actually quite funny. He had a lot of good lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I didn't know if his character was going to be in all the movie. When he ended up being, I was like, good on the people who made the movie to actually include him all the way through. Something.
Also, Viola Davis.
Yes, yeah, and she's always good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to remember her character's name. She plays the political figure. Geez, I know it, but I can't think of it. I'll put up a little caption underneath her name and her picture, and that'll be her her title.
Yeah.
Anyway, God, who else? Oh, the person who played Enchantress's brother. He's totally CGI.
I know.
Forgettable. More forgettable than she is.
He was even way more CGI than she was.
And he never looked real. And I was like, you're not even that cool looking. You're just kind of... his powers were cool, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Joel Kinnaman. Joel Kinnaman as Rick Flag. He's the semi-colonel leader of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I like him as an actor. I felt like he was kind of like one note.
Yeah.
He was just kind of the guy that was like, load up, we're in for a fight, or what. His dialogue was not the best.
No.
But his interactions with Will Smith were fun because they kind of clashed.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I don't think we're missing anybody. I think that's pretty much everybody except for Slipknot, played by Adam Beach. Why was he in this movie? They kill him off almost immediately after he gets introduced. He's the guy with all the ropes and the grappling hooks.
Oh yeah.
still to this day I don't understand why they did that, because they literally killed him off, and they probably pissed off a lot of fans.
Yeah.
So I think that's everybody, honestly. And like we said, Ben Affleck in it for like 10 minutes, probably not even. Cinematography and action. The action is probably better than the previous two movies in this film. I liked the use of guns, knives, and boomerangs, and like a baseball bat, or
Yeah.
his baseball bat. The action was actually really exciting and fun, and they used practical effects. The things they fought might have been CGI, but they implemented it really well to make for a satisfying, more gritty, street-level violence, you know what I mean? So that was fun. I liked that. Besides the CGI fest at the end, I think this movie looks really good. The color, the spray paint aesthetic, where it's a lot of greens and pinks, which they also use in the end credits. Really liked that. I hope they bring that back for the upcoming one. But action, effects, cinematography, honestly, didn't have that big of a problem with it, aside from the finale, which just gets way too CGI heavy. And there's a little bit of too much slow motion used.
Yeah.
But anyways, I enjoyed this movie. Before we give our score, let's talk about the music. I don't actually remember the music itself. I will say though, the soundtrack that had all the big like 80s songs.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack. I really like the soundtrack. It's a mix of new songs and old songs. And like for instance, Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody shows up in there by Panic at the Disco.
Oh yeah.
That was cool. And then there was a bunch of other songs as well.
I was gonna say, I almost really forgot almost every song in that movie besides Heathens.
Oh, and Heathens, yeah. And then Sucker for Pain also. There's a lot of music in the movie. It's not always implemented the best, but it has this fun vibe to it. Does it feel forced at times? Sure.
Yeah.
But I have the Suicide Squad soundtrack, so that tells you right now that I enjoyed it enough to re-listen to it.
Yeah.
As for the actual score of the movie, which I didn't really remember at all, it's by Stephen Price. I'm sure it was fine, but it was mostly in the background. Didn't have many thoughts about it either way. It was just kind of meh. So, all that being said, I do think this is a better film than the previous two movies. I think Man of Steel as a film is more coherent and better put together. But as far as enjoyment level, I enjoyed Suicide Squad more than BVS and Man of Steel.
Really?
Entertainment level, like the level of fun. So, with that being said, the score isn't going to be higher than Man of Steel, but it's certainly going to be higher than Batman v
BVS.
Yeah, BVS. I'm going to give Suicide Squad a 6 out of 10. I think it's a better than average movie. Has plenty of problems, but I enjoyed it for what it was, and I saw it twice.
Yeah. I as well. We'll give it a 6.
Really?
Yep.
First movie that we agree on with the same score.
So we agreed on Man of Steel.
Oh, we did. Yes.
We'll give it
I'm
7.
sorry.
So-
I'm sorry. My memory's failing me right now. Sorry. So there are our thoughts on Suicide Squad. If you don't like it, totally understand. If you do enjoy it or even love it, also understand. 6 from me. 6 from Jake. We'll be back talking about Wonder Woman in the next video. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Take care.
See ya.